And a good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here, along with Dan Nyman for Panhandle Weather live at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, another chilly night tonight, Chris. We took some more time to step out and see the sunset here before the show. But for the next few days, really not going to be complaining as much about the cool temperatures.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to be warmer and more humid across our area. You might be turning on the air conditioning to knock a little bit of that moisture out of the atmosphere over the next few days. And I think fog could become a little bit of an issue here over the next several days as well, at least during the morning hours.
Yeah, we'll keep adding that moisture and humidity. Even saw that, I think, a little bit this afternoon, and onshore winds starting to take shape just towards the end of the daylight hours. If you don't notice it really tomorrow or Thursday, I think for sure this weekend, things will feel a lot different than the way we started off this week.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look outside right now. My friends in Destin looking, you can see a little hint of daylight there off into the distance, but those days continuing to get shorter, a little tougher here at 6 o'clock to find any of that daylight. Meanwhile, as we look out over Panama City Beach this evening, this is from the Days Inn, looking Gulfward tonight. And also looking over at Wonderworks on Panama City Beach. Traffic moving along A-OK through Front Beach and Middle Beach roads. Temperature is 66 degrees. Winds right now at about 4 miles an hour, very light off the Gulf. As we look at live Doppler radar, we scan the skies. No signs of any rainfall, of course. Clear skies across our region. High temperatures today did climb up into the mid-70s. So remember, we have been stuck into the 60s the past few days. We made it up into the 70s today, so pretty nice. Right now, we're falling back down through the 50s and 60s. But the common theme, look, we're all warmer, at least several degrees warmer across our area compared to 24 hours ago. On the low side, we're on a -1 in Destin, but Crestview, Defuniak, Springs, Bonifay, all 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees warmer than this time last night. And that's just a telltale sign of what's to come here over the coming days as we get a little more moisture and warmer temperatures. Winds have gone fairly calm. The one thing I want to draw your attention to, though, the lines here on the map pointing in from the Gulf, and that was a little bit of that light wind, a little bit of a sea breeze pushing inland, and that's all part of that moisture that's gradually returning to our area. Now, I don't think we're going to see a lot of fog as we head through the overnight hours tonight. This is as we head into tomorrow morning. Pay attention down towards the Forgotten Coast. Southeasterly winds, that's one of the first places that moisture would come to, and so we could see a little bit of fog tomorrow morning. I think Thursday morning fog is a much bigger story across our region. So future clouds and radar as we move through the overnight hours tonight. Things are pretty quiet, but notice tomorrow morning, look at that, southeasterly flow. There's that moisture returning. I don't think it's going to be cloudy, but I do think we will see more clouds across northwest Florida as we head into your Wednesday. So as we move through the overnight hours tonight, we'll see temperatures dropping down from the 50s, eventually into the 40s inland. Beaches will probably stay pretty close to 60 degrees. So quite a bit warmer there. Low temperatures, again, 40s inland. Look at that, right around 60 degrees expected right along the immediate coastline. So the kids tomorrow morning, jackets will be necessary, but it'll warm up nicely. Some of us could approach 80 by tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk more about a warm up and then a big cool down. That's coming up in just a bit, but we got some great viewer photos here over the past about 24 hours, even got a pretty cool video as well, Dan.
Yeah, it's been a pretty exciting 24 hours as far as looking up towards our skies. Of course, Chris, things have been looking pretty outside with the lack of cloud coverage out there. And of course, that set us up for some great sunset photos last night. Be sure to send those to us from tonight's sunset as well. Pretty gorgeous out there about an hour or so ago. This one from Sam over in Sweet Bay. You see the afterglow there after sunset. And then as you look across the area, such calm conditions have settled in. We could sure get used to this for a lot longer than we've had it. Tammy sending in this photo from the glassy, smooth conditions out across the water there with the sun peeking through some of the few clouds that we've seen over the past 24 hours. High-level stuff or cirrus clouds. As you look at this photo from Beacon Hill, from Alexander here, some pretty nice conditions there with the backlit palm trees. And then, of course, last night as well, this photo coming in from Weewa, from Todd. Look at this, a meteor through the early morning hours, right up towards the top part of the screen here as my finger tracks it. You see that sort of teardrop shape as it falls from the top of the sky down towards the horizon before fizzling out, of course, and becoming not all that visible. So only a few seconds, but you might be able to catch those here as we get into the evening hours tonight. Be sure to submit your photos. Pretty easy to do if you download that Panhandle weather app. We're still transitioning here. Things are changing quickly for us. Of course, the Panhandle weather app. Submit photos right there on the homepage. You'll see that pretty bright there towards the bottom of the screen. Might have to scroll just a little bit. QR code screen is to where you need to go to download that app on iOS and Android. Watch for the skies tonight. In fact, if you look outside right now, you will see that full moon, the beaver moon, which peaks here at 7:19 Central Time tomorrow morning, but of course visible out there now. And for all intents and purposes, full illumination out there right now. So pretty gorgeous view. We saw it just after sunset as it rose in the sky, the second of, I believe, 4, Chris, consecutive supermoons for us here. So we will continue to get those great celestial views over the next several months. But tonight's looking pretty good. I think tomorrow you'll get pretty close to full illumination out there as well. Ultimately, things are going to be pretty calm here across the Panhandle over the next several days. So a bit of a blunder there for us, Chris, but we're getting through this one just fine. It looks like you're pulling up some stuff here from the website.
Yeah, we wrote a blog entry talking about the supermoon this morning. If you go to our website, there you see it, Panhandle Weather right there. And if you go and click on the blog entry there, you can see some of the latest blog entries with talking about power outages that we had last week, but also the brightest full moon of the year is tonight and is the second of 4 consecutive supermoons. So we had a supermoon in October, November, we'll have one in December, as well as January. But you can learn all about it right there at panhandleweather.com.
I feel like we just had the last full moon like 3 days ago, Chris. Time is flying by, and you will find that the temperature forecast over the next 7 days, things really cycling through quickly. A spell of warm weather, and then the coldest air we've seen so far this fall. Just towards the very end of that 7-day forecast, we'll have all of that coming up for you here in about 2 minutes.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're proud to bring you the most popular cars in the world, like the stylish Camry and the sporty Corolla. Get award-winning style and 1.99% APR on a new Camry, named Best New Model by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, you get 90 days until you make your first payment. Curb appeal comes standard on the new Corolla, designed to wow from the inside out. Get 3.49% APR plus 90 days until your first payment. Panama City Toyota, your Camry and Corolla headquarters.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
Well, this evening across our area, we continue to see clear skies and chilly conditions. Temperatures after sunset dropping quickly across our area, and we'll see another chilly night tonight. Now, the common theme, though, over the days ahead will be those morning lows and those afternoon highs. We'll get a little bit warmer each and every day. So by the weekend, we'll probably be looking at lows well into the 60s. It won't feel anything like November, but changes, my friends, are coming. As we look outside this evening across our area, we continue to see clear skies. Looking out across the beach and toward the Gulf, things fairly calm out there across our coastal waters. A little bit of a chop this evening as we saw a brief onshore wind develop, but those winds have since, for the most part, died down this evening. There you see the sea Screamer boats tucked into their slips for the evening hours, and you look over across Grand Lagoon there and you see exactly how still the water is. So here's what's happening. Our forecast headlines. We'll see a gradual warming trend continue this week, both with our morning lows and our afternoon highs. Low-end rain chances possible as we head into the weekend, and it's going to get colder again by the beginning part of next week. Maybe our coldest air so far this season. At least it will rival it the way it looks right now. Future clouds and radar throughout the evening and overnight hours tonight. Quiet conditions, but notice you see those clouds moving southeast and then southerly across our area, indicating that moisture is going to continue to increase rapidly over the next several days. Now, it may yield clouds, it can yield some fog during the morning hours, but it's not going to get any rainfall until probably the weekend. And even then, the rainfall chances aren't very high. We'll have more on that in a minute, but you see there are your winds as you move through your Wednesday morning out of the southeast, 5, 10, maybe 15 miles an hour facing some of the beaches. As we head into your Wednesday evening, winds die down again, but again, an onshore wind continues across our area, and that's going to end up leading to the possibility of some fog, especially I think as we head into Thursday morning over our region. There you go. Forecast visibility. Wednesday morning, we have very slight amount of fog down towards the Forgotten Coast and along Highway 98 there, stretching from Carabel and back over into East Point. Now, as we head into Thursday morning, look at that. Much more widespread is that fog all across the Northwest Florida. So that will be something we want to pay attention to here over the coming days. Now, it's not going to be fog that lasts very long. Comes up towards the overnight hours, early morning, and then it's mainly gone. So temperatures for tonight, look at these temperatures. We're going to end up dropping down 40s inland, 50s along the coastline. Kids tomorrow morning, dilemma days again. Cool to start, but not as cool as it's been. But look at the afternoon highs climbing up there pretty close to 80 degrees. High temperatures Wednesday, right around 80 inland, 70s along the beaches. Water temperatures still into the low 70s, so you're not going to have a chance to warm things up a whole lot at the beaches, at least not touching 80 degrees. Thursday morning, 50s inland, and then you're into the 60s along the coastline. I think by Friday morning, we'll be talking about definitely getting up there into the 60s for those low temperatures just about area wide. So here's the pattern that we're seeing. Front slips to our north. We see this moisture get pulled across our areas. These fronts continue to tease us, but it'll be this one out to the west that eventually brings us our coldest air, or might be our coldest air of the season. But I want you to pay attention here. Look across our area. Just a few blips. We're not talking about any kind of widespread type event. And then on the back side of that comes that coldest air with more details on the coldest air, or maybe the coldest air of the season. Meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, something to look forward to as you get your head kind of in the mindset for decorating for Christmas next weekend. Sure, the weekend itself should feel pretty good. And like Chris mentioned, cloud coverage probably returning a little bit more so, but it's going to be hard to find a whole lot of this showery activity. Of course, a little bit of a lower resolution model here, but you can see even if you do find the rainfall, it's pretty light stuff pulling in along this cold front. Behind that, though, much clearer skies. Things are going to cool down pretty significantly too, like we talked about. And when you say cool down, of course, we've already been somewhat cool to start off this week, but we're talking 30s for lows. If you look at the European model, maybe just 50s for highs on Monday. Big difference in feel coming for us. But before that, this weekend, just a small chance of rain. We'll go with the 10 to 20% chance here and across the Panhandle. Here's your temperature trend at the coast. It's 70s, of course, with the Gulf water temperatures right around 71 or 72 degrees. Into the 80s inland, the warmest feeling day, probably on Saturday or Sunday, because you don't just have the warmer temperatures, which only incrementally increase here over the next several days, but you'll find the humidity starts to pick up with that onshore wind shift as well. By Monday and Tuesday, though, high temperatures 59 degrees. We'll probably see a mix between about 57 and 61 degrees over that time frame. And it all comes as your upper level pattern changes pretty significantly. You see right now, you've got your mid-level winds here stretching from the west towards the east, some perturbations in there up towards the Great Lakes and back towards the west coast as well. Getting towards the weekend and things dig southward here. You see that big U shape in the jet stream, and all those winds tapped in towards a much cooler air mass behind the banner here up towards Canada. That funnels towards the south, and you will feel it. Monday, especially into Tuesday, I think we could have to prepare for at least an inland frost, which isn't too ahead of schedule, but certainly a surprise after the warm temperatures you'll experience this weekend. Upper level winds showing that same sort of shape here. The much cooler air, of course, up towards the northern part of the country, but we'll certainly feel that difference too down towards Panama City, even central Florida, seeing a big change in the feel outside as a result of that. I do think, though, the cool down doesn't last all that long. You can already see by Tuesday high pressure starting to feed in behind it, and things will start to feel incrementally nicer as you get towards Wednesday and Thursday of the following week from this one. So your muggy meter turning more humid here heading into the weekend. Big drop, much drier air, allowing us to see some very cool overnight low temperatures. And then, of course, Chris, that 7-day forecast, kind of a mixed bag of conditions. You'll see those temperatures continuing to sit through the upper 70s at the coast all the way through Sunday. 50s with sunshine Monday and Tuesday, lows into the 30s for Tuesday morning. Inland areas will watch for some fog here on Thursday. Though lows cool 33 degrees on Tuesday morning.
Ooh, could be the coldest day of the season. Dr. Shane says, what's up? He hopped into the chat there.
Dr. Shane, he's one of my favorite people here in the Panhandle. Always enjoy
Good to
seeing
see you,
your
Dr.
posts.
Shane.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for your support.
But
Thanks for your voice, too.
yeah, his voice sounds fantastic. Definitely owe him some Krispy Kreme.
Yes, we do. But yeah, I think the story will be, we have the full moon tonight, which will be a little brighter, a little bit bigger, but it's just going to be a beautiful November full moon. And then the humidity increasing this week, a little bit of morning fog, warmer temperatures, much warmer temperatures toward the weekend, and then the bottom drops out next week. So don't go falling in love with it, and we got a little something for everyone.
It really is this time of year where you can never get comfortable with the feel outside because it will change every single day. If you got some good pictures of the sunset, though, or the moon tonight, be sure to download that Panhandle weather app. The QR code on the screen here, I'll leave it for a few moments. And of course, you've got all sorts of other forecast things going on in there too. Beach and boating conditions, although things probably a little cool for that tomorrow morning, maybe the afternoon. Pretty good out by the coast where a sunset walk will feel pretty good as well. Later this week, though, you might have some coastal plans back inside of what you're thinking about doing outside. Either way, Chris, plenty of changes coming, even if we don't have showers and thunderstorms to talk about. And that's going to be, I think, something we definitely are not expecting here. Probably by the time you get to Monday, it's going to be so warm prior to that, it will catch you off guard.
Yeah, and I was looking at the rainfall forecast. You're talking hundredths of an inch, so really almost nothing expected with this next round of rain over the weekend.
Yeah, and of course, Thursday morning, 10 a.m., we'll get that new drought monitor update.
Yep.
I don't expect any surprises, but probably some worsening. We definitely will have to work hard this winter to catch up on the rainfall.
Absolutely. There we go. Another episode of Panhandle Weather live at 6. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, the weather never stops. We'll have more videos and information posted throughout the night on the 24/7 channel, on the app, and of course the website.
Thanks for joining us. Let's get back to work on those next updates.
There you go.